Plot to shackle the UK. BREXITEER MP makes brilliant point to shut down Tory colleague. BREXITEER MP Marcus Fysh made a brilliant point to Tory colleague Vicky Ford, after she argued the EU had made it perfectly clear the Irish backstop is only a temporary solution. Marcus Fysh, the MP for Yeovil, pointed out the only thing that matters is what the text says, in response to Vicky Ford arguing the EU had provided adequate reassurances to the UK over the Brexit backstop. Mr. Fysh also spoke on whether it was possible to secure a better deal with the EU. The BREXITEER MP told BBC News, "There is a better way of doing this. I don't think we should be afraid of no deal, but I think we should go to them with a better offer. I think we should talk to them about replacing the backstop with a better way of organising." The BBC host said, "We've been around this. There's nowhere to go with what you're suggesting, is there?" Mr. Fysh replied, "Well, we have been around this, that's exactly right, but I completely disagree. This is entirely possible. We have put forward an alternative text and it is entirely plausible. What the withdrawal agreement does unfortunately though is shackle us to the EU without any say on a permanent basis, and that is just not acceptable to me and many colleagues." Ms. Ford then declared, "I would say that is not the case. The EU have made it perfectly clear this backstop cannot and will not be a permanent solution." The news presenter cut in, "No, they haven't. It is an intention, not a legal guarantee." Mr. Fysh pointed out, "The only thing that matters is what the text says." Ms. Ford replied, "Under Article 50 itself, as has been made very clear by the Attorney General, by Michael Gove last week, if it was to stretch out in time it would be challenged in the EU courts." The comments come ahead of the vote on Prime Minister Theresa May's withdrawal deal in the House of Commons on Tuesday. In a letter, European Council President Donald Tusk and European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker stressed they were not in a position to rewrite or amend the withdrawal agreement secured by Mrs. May last year. But they assured the PM that the EU does not wish to see the backstop enter into force, as it would represent a suboptimal trading arrangement for both sides. The EU president stated, "Were the backstop to enter into force in whole or in part, it is intended to apply only temporarily, unless and until it is superseded by a subsequent agreement." Warning that failure to deliver Brexit would do catastrophic harm to trust in the political process, Mrs. May said, "There are some in Westminster who would wish to delay or even stop Brexit and who will use every device available to them to do so. I ask them to consider the consequences of their actions on the faith of the British people in our democracy, people's faith in the democratic process, and their politicians."